Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm thrilled to have you here. Today, I want to share something really special with you, my journey in learning English. I've put in a lot of effort and discovered some fantastic techniques along the way that have helped me immensely. Let's embark on this language learning adventure together. Let's get started. Hey, I'm Naina from Delhi, India, and I work as an accountant. I'd like to share my journey of learning English with you. One day, my parents planned to go shopping and have fun at the mall. While walking around, I saw a foreign couple nearby. I really wanted to talk to them, but I hesitated because I wasn't confident in my English. I tried listening but couldn't understand much. Even though I was learning English, I wasn't perfect. I gathered the courage to speak a few basic English words to them. Surprisingly, they understood and didn't make fun of me. That boosted my confidence. I asked them for tips to improve my English. They were from Australia and here on a tour. We spoke for about 5 minutes, exchanged contacts, and bid goodbye. After that encounter, I worked on my English daily. I started watching English movies, listening to podcasts, and reading English stories. In a few months, my English improved, but I wanted to learn more. So, I joined an English class and met a kind teacher and classmates. Our teacher had an interesting method, focused on using English in our daily lives without worrying about grammar. He said making mistakes is part of learning. I followed that method and found it effective, so I stopped reading textbooks and magazines. In the next class, I asked our teacher about the most important thing in learning a new language like English. He said language is a tool for communication worldwide. It helps us understand ideas and thoughts. You know what I used to do? I made new friends in class and got their phone numbers. We decided to speak only in English no matter what. We even had phone conversations in English. Whenever I came across a new word I didn't know, I'd ask them right away, and it really helped me gain confidence in speaking. Many of us try to remember new words and study grammar rules, but we forget to use English in actual conversations. We need to practice them every day. But the question is, who can we talk to? If you don't have a partner, make friends in your class who also want to learn English and talk with them. Now, here's a simple and effective way to learn vocabulary and grammar. Talk about your hobbies, things you like doing in your free time, or discuss topics your teacher or someone who speaks well talks about. Share about your family, home, school, there are lots of topics to discuss. Try speaking in pairs or with your teacher. Enjoy your classes. This way of learning turned out to be very effective for me. Once, someone in my class asked about the best way to learn new words. Our teacher said there are many ways, but the most effective one is reading. People learn a lot of new words when they read, and they learn twice as fast as those who don't. Try to read something every day. Whatever interests you, could be a storybook, fiction, nonfiction, romance, whatever you like. What if you read something that doesn't interest you and you don't know many words? It might make you frustrated. It's important to have fun while using a language. It's helpful to pick a text that's both interesting and suitable for your level. If you start reading and come across a word you don't know, it's good to have a dictionary handy. Look up the word right away to understand its meaning. Once you learn a word, it sticks in your brain. When you see it again, you'll remember what it means. That's how new words become familiar to you. When you read, you learn new words and understand how they fit together in a sentence. It's a good way to learn because you see how words work together. Give it a try and you'll be surprised at how quickly you pick up new words. Additionally, we discussed the process of obtaining an Australian visa because I'm eager to find a good job there. It's a great opportunity since I'm aiming for employment in Australia. I inquired with classmates about passport procedures. They advised me to acquire a passport initially, followed by taking the IELTS exam. IELTS includes interviews for those seeking to settle abroad. This news delighted me greatly. The following day, I visited the passport center. Unsure of what to do, I asked the lady there about the passport process. She explained that I needed to submit certain papers and documents. After a few days, I finally received my passport. I applied for a visa afterward. There was an interview which I attended and passed. As a result, I obtained my visa.it is all good for me. I am happy that I got my visa. Pronunciation is crucial. We're used to speaking our native language, so speaking another language can feel unfamiliar and challenging. Sometimes when we hear someone speak English well, we feel our own pronunciation is lacking, which can be embarrassing. Okay. Now you're thinking, how can we improve it? First, watch English movies and dramas that you like. Read loud in English. I will tell you something about pronunciation and how to practice it. I will also teach you techniques which can help all of you to become better at pronunciation. First, we have to look at why students have problem with pronunciation. When we talk, our mouth and tongue muscles move. That's natural for everyone. But sometimes, when speaking English, we use our muscles as we do in our own language. This can make our pronunciation different from native speakers. Lots of students face this. Most people learning English have a slightly different pronunciation, but that's usually okay because people still understand them. But you can improve your pronunciation using a helpful technique. This technique is called parroting, and it's quite straightforward. Essentially, when you use parroting, you imitate the sounds you hear. Just like how children learn their first language by mimicking their parents repeatedly until their pronunciation becomes flawless. To learn English pronunciation using this method, you can use videos or audio recordings that aren't too fast and are easy for you to understand. Listen closely and simply repeat what you hear. That's all there is to it. Guess what I did? I hopped onto a YouTube channel and searched for some parroting methods. I found some really good videos with techniques. I gave those parroting tricks a try and practiced for about 15 minutes. Parroting and shadowing are helpful, especially when prepping for an English presentation and aiming for great pronunciation. Find a quiet spot where you're alone and do shadowing for at least 10 to 15 minutes. You'll notice how much it boosts your pronunciation skills for the presentation. If you want to sound like a good speaker, practice repeating after native speakers. It really makes a difference. One day, I returned to class and met a new student named Mahesh, also from India. Our teacher began by asking Mahesh some questions. He shared that he used to come here to learn English and return to enhance his skills. When Mahesh spoke, it was remarkable. His pronunciation was smooth and he spoke fluently. He mentioned that he learned English at home, using techniques he learned here like reading, parroting, and thinking aloud. He focused on thinking more in English, and that's how he improved his skills. Me and my whole class were really impressed when we heard about this. We praised Mahesh for working so hard. I already know about reading and the shadowing technique, but Mahesh also talked about thinking aloud. To get the benefits from this technique, you need a strong motivation to learn English. Some people might find this technique a bit strange, but if you're motivated, it can help your English improve quickly. I said I'm motivated. I don't mind if it seems odd. If it works, I want to learn it. Can you teach us this technique? Sure thing, it's actually pretty simple. You spend your whole day thinking in your native language, which is normal. Now, try starting to think in English. Once you're used to thinking in English, you can start speaking out loud about what you're thinking. That's all there is to it. When I began using this technique, it was tough. I started with basic sentences like I can speak English or it's good that I can speak English. I aimed to improve and knew I had to practice daily. My vocabulary was limited, but I made use of the words I knew. Using these words, I could express my thoughts. It felt great I was able to do it. The sentences were simple, but initially there was an issue. My thoughts were lengthy and complex, and I couldn't express them accurately in English. I ended up speaking in Hindi instead. Since that day, I've been using thinking aloud more often. This method really boosted my speaking skills, and I still use it daily. It's seriously effective. Our teacher thanked Mahesh for introducing us to thinking aloud. I wanted to try it because I aimed to improve my speaking. Remember this: if you want to speak English fluently, let your thoughts flow freely. Don't hesitate, just speak. Practice every day. You can read and listen to simple English stories, both basic and advanced. For extra help, I have a channel called Sty Stories, where I share stories to help with English understanding and speaking. Feel free to visit and learn more. Wishing you all the best in improving your English. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment on my channel. Thank you, everyone.